Hello guys, so today we are going to discuss one of the most important perfumery materials, that is deer musk. As you can see, this is a pod, it's a whole pod from the region between Russian tundras and south of Russia. It's a Siberian pod. These are the ethically harvested pods. They do not kill the animals for these now, and people who collect these are licensed to collect them. They have a quota every year, certain number of deers that they can hunt for their musk. So before we speak about anything else, first of all, take a look at how this genuine pod looks. You see it's hairy on one side and no hair on the other side. Generally what happens is you see some fake pods that come from a lot of countries, especially in Southeast Asian countries, where it's like something like a tennis ball that has hair all around. This is not deer musk, and it's sold as deer musk. It's cheap and it's not deer musk. This is traditionally right now one of the best ingredients to use, especially for attars. Musk and ambergris are used in Gallia formulations and in other kinds of perfumes, but traditionally, like 1,000 years ago, for example, this was not the most superior type of musk. The Tibetan and the Mongolian, as well as the Nepalese, which is almost like a fairy tale to find right now. It's the not the Nepalese, the Vietnamese. I mean, you cannot find it these days. So what do we do with this musk? Basically, inside this there are grains inside here. These vary by size. This is a mid-sized one. It's not very small, it's not very big. The smell is very strong. I can fill the room quite easily, and inside the grains are wet. They are not dry. What typically happens is that these grains are then taken from the inside of here and used to make tinctures, absolutes, or macerations. This has been done in Western perfumery for hundreds of years before they stopped using animal musks in perfumery, and now they use synthetic musks, which cannot be compared in terms of the complexity that this imposes in a perfume to natural musks, natural deer musks. As you can see, it's handled with great care and cleanliness. You can't just use your hands, you have to use surgical gloves. You have to be very careful when cutting it, when cleaning it. And the hairs are tinctured, the skins are tinctured, the pods are tinctured, and this right here is something that a lot of people think that they can just get a musk pod and macerate or tincture, but the reality is they need a lot of experience in doing that, in the cleaning, the storage, in terms of, okay, so what to do, temperature control, how to store it, how to macerate it. Every single detail matters. Also what matters is that this deer, how it was fed. Was it fed naturally, or it was in a sort of habitat where it's a controlled environment? Was it a wild animal, or in a controlled sort of deer habitat? Because if it's natural, if it's a natural habitat, what will happen is the deer will have stronger musk in this pod, because this is used for attracting a mate, for mating. And so if it's a natural habitat, due to natural selection and biological reasons, the musk produced will be much stronger than if it's actually a controlled habitat. So you see, it's not just simply getting deer musk and macerating it. It's a big and very complex thing. It's not just getting deer musk, you know, I'll macerate it and I'm gonna produce good stuff. And how to macerate it, how to tincture it, for how long, how many pods are needed for a liter of alcohol, you know, or a kilogram of alcohol. All these things and parameter vary too much. And typically the half-life of the scent here for decay is thousands of years. So what we mean by that is that the deer musk pod, the smell it imposes in a composition or a place is so strong that it is the strongest, if not, it's one of the strongest, if not the strongest, animal base. And a base is known to increase the decay curve of the perfume, and the composition becomes much more strong. But that is just one of the uses, typically in the French perfumery. The other uses, of course, are to impose a certain characteristics in the smell, becomes animalic in a certain way. And so, as you can see, it's not a very easy thing to deal with. Cutting this and processing this and producing an absolute from this, and picking the right pod, picking the pod that will be actually very good for your intended product. These have been also used in incense, you know, but again, how much quantity wise will be used in the perfume, and so on and so forth.